Democrats, GOP could end shutdown and save face, by Mike Lillies and Sudiksha Kochi. Voices in both parties say Democrats and Republicans alike are looking for a deal that would allow them to save face, while ending a shutdown that is causing increasing pain to Americans across the country. The difficulty is finding a sweet spot that reopens the government and allows both sides to walk away telling their bases, with a straight face, that they won. There is no obvious solution, and it is anyone's guess what the exact compromise will look like. But lawmakers, strategists, and other political experts say there are two ingredients crucial to a deal: President Trump and Obamacare subsidies. The enhanced tax credits under the Affordable Care Act (ACA) have been the central sticking point throughout the month-long shutdown, and both parties have staked out public positions that have, so far, been immovable. Republicans say they will not negotiate an extension of the expiring subsidies, the key Democratic demand, before the Democrats help reopen the government. Democrats say they will not help reopen the government until the Republicans negotiate on health care. Neither side has given an inch in the month since the government shut its doors, and leaders of both sides publicly insist that they will not. The way out of the impasse will require a delicate dance, but experts say they have at least a couple options to pursue without either side appearing to cave. The first involves a commitment from Trump, who has been on the sidelines of the debate, to sit down with a select group of Democrats on a specific date to negotiate a deal to extend the ACA subsidies in some form. In return, Democrats would agree to open up the government by supporting the clean Republican spending bill that has been wallowing in the Senate for more than 4 weeks. Everybody will claim victory, said a Democratic strategist, who spoke anonymously to discuss a sensitive topic. Republicans will say, well, I am glad they got their senses knocked into them. And they will be able to claim, we never gave in, we said we would negotiate if they opened up the government, the source continued. We will be able to say, we finally got his attention after he is out in Asia, and he is going to sit down. He is going to bring in everybody. As long as the president says yes, I think that would be where everybody saves face. Democratic leaders, Senator Charles Schumer, New York, and Representative Hakeem Jeffries, New York, have said they simply do not trust Trump and the Republicans to make good on any future commitments to prop up the ACA, which the president sought to repeal in his first term. Trump recently slammed the ACA as a disaster in a Truth Social post and demanded that Democrats do something ahead of a rise in health insurance premium costs. But with the shutdown poised to hit millions of low-income people in federal education, nutrition, and health care programs, and with flight delays already snarling air travel coast to coast and threatening to get worse, some observers say both sides will have little choice but to move toward the other. I think that is what everyone privately thinks, that we get a little meltdown, and that would be helpful for everybody, the strategist said. That would be the off-ramp that everyone can use without taking credit for it or blame. Craig Shirley, presidential historian and Ronald Reagan biographer, said he believes Trump will sit down with Democrats before Thanksgiving, as the holiday season could build up pressure on both parties. A second option to break the impasse would involve Republicans promising an up or down vote, not just negotiations, on extending the ACA subsidies in return for Democrats' help in ending the shutdown. Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Republican from South Dakota, had floated that strategy in the middle of October. Democrats rejected it, saying they wanted a firmer commitment that the ACA reforms demanded by Republicans did not erode patient benefits. But some are eager to return to that approach as a condition of ending the shutdown if the promised vote extends to the House and has Trump's support. Thune said, okay, we will guarantee a vote. We cannot guarantee that we will win it or lose it. Fine, said Representative Steny Hoyer, Democrat from Maryland, the former House Majority Leader. Now they cannot guarantee us a vote just in the Senate, he added. They have got to guarantee us a vote in the House as well, because I think we will win both votes. If Republicans renege, Democrats could shutter the government again at the next budget deadline whenever it arrives. The expiring ACA subsidies are posing a dilemma for GOP leaders, who are being squeezed between moderate Republican frontliners pushing to extend the benefits and prevent premiums from skyrocketing next year ahead of the midterms, and conservative Obamacare critics who want the tax credits to sunset altogether. Thune and House Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican from Louisiana, have both criticized the ACA subsidies and Obamacare more broadly as inefficient and ineffective. They say they are willing to address the expiring tax credits only if the law is overhauled. If you look at it objectively, you know that it is subsidizing bad policy, Johnson said this week. We are throwing good money at a bad, broken system, and so it needs real reforms. But Democrats see the shutdown as a way to shine light on healthcare, which will emerge as a key issue in the 2026 midterms. And they have reason to believe their message is breaking through. A survey from the Associated Press NYC Center for Public Affairs Research found that approximately 6 in 10 Americans are extremely or very concerned about rising healthcare costs next year. And a Washington Post ABC News Ipsos poll released Thursday found more Americans blame Republicans for the shutdown than Democrats. I think it is clear that the Trump administration is trying to make this as painful as possible. This is not about winning politics for us. This is about making sure people can afford their health care and making sure hungry people get food, and that is what we are fighting for, said Representative Sarah Jacobs, Democrat from California. Another potential factor in both parties' political calculation comes on Tuesday, when voters go to the polls to elect the governors of Virginia and New Jersey and mayor of New York City. Democrats are expected to win all 3 races, but a wider than expected margin could boost Democrats' confidence in their shutdown strategy. Conversely, a tighter margin could provide Republicans a fresh line of attack. Besides ACA subsidies, Democrats have also demanded that there be specific language in a budget bill that requires Trump to spend funds as Congress intended to. Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat from Connecticut, said even if Democrats support a short-term stopgap measure to reopen the government, he does not believe his fellow colleagues will sign onto a full-year budget unless it constrains the level of illegality happening. I am not going to vote for an immoral, corrupt budget, whether it be a short-term budget or a long-term budget, that throws millions of people off their health care and helps Trump engage in his ongoing witch hunt operation of my allies. I am just not going to do it. And again, I think that the bar is different for a short-term deal. The longer-term budget will be the opportunity for us to put more constraints on his illegality. But I am interested in far more than a promise or a failed vote, Murphy said. After weeks on the sidelines, Trump on Thursday dove into the shutdown debate, but not in the way many GOP lawmakers wanted. Just hours after returning from a long trip to Asia, the president urged Thune and Senate Republicans to eliminate the filibuster, the 60-vote threshold that the minority Democrats are using to block the Republicans' stopgap spending bill. It is now time for the Republicans to play their trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now. Trump wrote on Truth Social, the social media company he owns. The proposal was quickly rejected by a number of Republicans in the Capitol, including Johnson, who warned that it would come back to haunt the GOP whenever Democrats take control of the upper chamber. The filibuster has traditionally been viewed as a very important safeguard, Johnson told reporters in the Capitol. If the shoe was on the other foot, I do not think our team would like it.